Hello, everyone. This is Coach Kavita. Welcome to today's live training with roundtable breakout sessions, where we are focusing on New Year planning power. So to participate in this session, we request that you keep your video on for the entire time to create a strong and respectful community connection. And as part of this, make sure there are no distractions of sound or activity in your background. That includes turning your video on and off a lot, eating while on video, going to the bathroom while on video, and so on. So to support Heather in being fully in her highly sensitive strengths while guiding us all, the team may turn off your video if we see what looks like distracting behaviors. And please know that turning off a member's video is not intended to shame or punish anyone. It's simply about honoring the full community and keeping the focus on the transformation and away from the distraction. And just remember, immediately after the roundtable, please share in the community forum, "This is what I heard and how I'll use it." Select the topic named Roundtable Takeaways and Asks and use 20 words or less for your post. So now let's activate the energy. So just taking a moment first and just getting any kind of movement, wiggles that you need to get out so that you can sit still for a few moments. And when you're done with that and you're feeling ready, taking a moment and closing your eyes. And when with your eyes closed, starting to focus on your breath and feeling the inhales and exhales. And now we're going to use the breath as a tool to let go and let in. So as you exhale, letting go of any residue from 2020, maybe remembering some of the things that you wrote on your leaf. There's any residues that needs to be let go. And then what do you want to let in 2021? And inhaling that energy and letting go and letting in with your breath. And so doing that for the one last breath. And when you're ready with that last breath, coming back and opening your eyes. Okay, and now I'd like to hand it over to Heather Dominick, founder of businessmiracles.com, training highly sensitive entrepreneurs and leaders to excel in business and life by doing things differently since 2010.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kavita. And thank you for starting us off so beautifully. Welcome. Yay. Welcome to 2021. Yeah, seriously, right? The start of a historic new year. Amazing. It's so good to be here with each and every one of you, to see you, to see your beautiful faces, to feel you, to feel your powerful energy, and to know that we are on this journey together at this most critical time, these exceptional times, how fortunate we are, how privileged we are to know that we have this community to come to turn to lean on, rely on, to serve, to support, and to most importantly know that there is a space where our highly sensitive nature is not only understood, it's not only received, it's not only seen and heard, but it is championed. And where each one of us, whether we know it specifically or not, are cultivating our calling and how we are truly meant to be showing up for this historic time in each of our individual ways, stronger, more powerful, and more deliberately. And unapologetically, I would say as well. So good to be here with each and every one of you. And also welcome to today, which is January 6th, 2021, which in some worlds is known as Little Christmas. It is the 12th day of the 12 days of Christmas. And I'm going to share more on that in a moment. But to start us off for today, I would like you to make sure that you have something to write with or type with. And I'm going to ask you to place your hand on your heart, take a breath in, and let it out. And just write down the first thing that comes to heart and mind when I ask you this question. What is one way that you expressed yourself during your end of year holiday time? What is one way that you expressed yourself during your end of year holiday time? First thing, do not overthink it. First thing that comes to heart and mind, write it down or type it out. Breath in and let it out. And now write or type this down. Your name, your highly sensitive leadership training program, and where you are videoing in from today. And with that, our amazing event coordinator, Susie, the Superwoman, is going to move us into one-on-one breakout sessions, and you are going to share your name, your program, where you're videoing in from, and one way that you expressed yourself during end of year holiday time. We will have 2 minutes total for you and your partner to share. Susie, when you're ready, you can work your magic. Oh, do I get Miss Maria along with Heather S. and Susie? So Maria, I just need you to unmute yourself, my dear.
The host wasn't allowing me.
There we go. We got it. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's so good to see you.
I got you. Absolutely. Yay.
Look at your cutest haircut.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, start us off. Who are you? What program are you in? Where are you calling in from? All that good stuff.
Maria K, Seattle, HSL.
What is one way that you expressed yourself?
My vision board.
Ooh, super cool. Yeah, so you made a brand new one?
What?
You made a brand new one?
I made a brand new one. I do every year. Yes. Oh, it was so much fun. It took me a couple hours.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you keep it somewhere where you see it all the time?
I do. It will be on the wall. I've got a couple more spaces, and that's the only reason I haven't already added it there with all my HSE paraphernalia in my calendar.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'd love to see at some, yeah, I will tell you in just 1 second. I'll just finish saying, I don't need to see it now, but one day I'd love to see HSE paraphernalia wall. You might need to take a photo and send that to me.
I will do it. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, I will quickly share with you. I am Heather. I am in all of the highly sensitive leadership training programs. I'm calling in from New York City, and the way that I expressed myself is I used a rolling pin that my father made out of wood for my mother, and I made cookies with that rolling pin, and it was very expressive, and I shared it with my husband, so it was kind of like this special first time together as well.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought you of all people would appreciate. Beautiful. Welcome back to the group, everyone. So you heard my share of a way that I expressed myself. I was sharing with Maria Kyriakos, but then yay, also with all of you. I'd like someone to raise their digital hand. Community Curator Lorna, I'm going to ask you to step forward. Just remind members how to raise their hands, especially in this new year of 2021. And I would just like to hear something that you heard from your partner that really touched you. So Lorna, how do members step forward and raise their hand?
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. To raise your hand, first of all, you want to be sure you're on video and you raise your hand electronically for this part of our weekly roundtable. And the raise hand button, this is fun, may now be in one of two places on your computer screen. So the first place, it might be in the old usual place where you click on participants at the bottom, and then a panel pops up on the right, and you go to the bottom of that, it says raise hand, you click that button. The other place, if you've downloaded the newest update of Zoom, would be under reactions, which is also in that bottom panel. And if you click on reactions, your raise hand button may be living there now. All right, so check either participants, maybe both, reactions, find out where your hand is. And we have some raised. So I am going to, you ready, Heather, for me to call
Yes,
them?
please.
Okay, let's hear from Barb Bernini. Oh, sorry. Also, I'm going to allow you to unmute yourself now. So I just set that up. So Barb, you can unmute yourself and share.
Great.
Perfect. Hi. So I was partnered with lovely Ennis Carter, and it was so amazing because she shared that she and her husband have a band because her husband is a musician, and they made a song to celebrate the holidays. And I just thought it was just so fabulous.
Yes, not only did they make a song, they made a video and posted
A video,
it on
yes, you're right.
Facebook.
Yes.
Blew my mind. So yes, love that. Everyone go check it out. It's so hip. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Ennis. Lorna, another one?
Let's hear from Mayumi. So Mayumi, please unmute yourself.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hi, I like a partner with Meisha, and then she's in New York and I'm in Miami, so different atmosphere.
Yes.
And for me, the new my impression, I mean, express for holiday is New Year, new project, new price.
Ooh, nice, 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 nice. And that's your expression. Is that correct, Mayumi?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you. New year, new program, new price.
Yes.
Nice. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So appreciate that. Thank you. One more, Lorna, and this time, just if you can share what your partner did as an expression, I would love to hear that.
All right, so we have Leslie next.
Leslie, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I was matched up perfectly with Melissa Pickle. Is that how you say your last name? And yep. And she texted her friend, and her friend texted her 3 gratitudes daily.
Ooh,
and they've kept it going.
amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice. That was
So
a very
cool.
good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Thank you so much. All right, beautiful. Such a powerful and intentional community. No surprise there. And really love hearing so much in terms of how you utilized that expression during end of year holiday time. Let's all take a breath in and let it out. So we are here today for our weekly training and roundtable with the focus of New Year planning, power. And we're going to be focusing on New Year planning throughout the month of January, all with the intent of continuing to build on the energy of the new year that especially is needed during these exceptional times, and not falling into the old habitual trap of new year, new energy over by, January 7th. We're not going to do that. So again, today, January 6th, Little Christmas, the 12th day of Christmas. In some worlds, the story goes that there were 3 wise men traveling through the desert to visit a new child who had been born, and it took them 12 days. They arrived 12 days late. Probably actually the story goes that it took them more than that, but they arrived 12 days late. There's so much that I appreciate about this story, but one thing that I really appreciate in regards to high sensitivity is they were 12 days late and they were still on time. And they're still remembered, and they were not criticized for being late, but actually everyone waited for them, and everyone totally celebrated all the gifts that they had to bring with them. So you are never behind, and we always move at our own pace. The other thing that I love about the 12 days of Christmas is that the 12 days is often taught with 12 powers of the new year. Those 12 powers being faith, strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, release, and life. Breath in and let it out. For today, our focus in support of re-entry into a new year, into our more typical, as best can be these times, day-to-day practices, and to give focus to New Year planning. We're going to focus specifically on that power of the 12 powers being power. So in December, we focused on end of year review. And as I'm sure most of you have engaged in, and I've seen postings on the forum of ways that you did support yourself with end of year review, 12-month assessment. Maybe you chose to do a ritual around the new year. Maybe you chose to set more typical resolutions, or you've sent intentions, or some of us on the forum have been talking about the 12-card draw, all kinds of ways to mark the beginning of a new year. My invitation as part of this weekly training and roundtable discussion is to deliberately weave in the energy of power. Please write that down. And I'm going to ask Susie to bring up a handout that I shared as part of our fall virtual training retreat in 2020 on the 4 powers of leadership. Susie? Beautiful. What I'd like to bring focus to specifically for today is power within, giving attention to that lower right-hand quadrant, power within. The leadership power within is related to a person's sense of self-worth and self-knowledge. Includes an ability to recognize individual differences while respecting others. Involves people having a sense of their own capacity and self-worth, and allows people to recognize their power to and power with and believe they can make a difference. So take a moment. If needed, place your hand on your heart. Which aspect of power within just jumps off the page to you? No thinking needed. It just really stands out to you and speaks to you. Take a moment to write that down. No overthinking, just immediately speaks to you. Power within. Breath in and let it out. Be sure you have that written down. So I'm going to ask Susie to remove this handout and bring up our next handout, which is the attachment styles. And I'm going to bring our attention to the secure, autonomous attachment style. This time, the upper left-hand corner. Well, forget the right side or left side, depends on how you're looking at the screen. The upper corner, secure, autonomous, trusting, empathic, tolerant of differences, and forgiving. Communicates emotions and needs honestly and openly. Manages emotions well, not overly upset. Insight, resolution, and forgiveness about past relationship issues and hurts. Again, if needed, place your hand on your heart, and which jumps right off the page for you. No overthinking, really speaks to you, leaps out, grabs your attention, and take a moment to write that down. And take a breath in and let it out. Beautiful. Thank you, Susie. So with both of these that you've written down from the 4 powers of leadership and the attachment styles, our discussion in roundtable today is how are these meant to be deliberately woven in to your new year intentions, resolution, focus, choices of how you want 2021 to be different for yourself. Before we move into breakout discussions, I am going to briefly hand us over to our Business Miracles Community Curator, Lorna, for a Curator Corner. Lorna, welcome.
There, it worked. Awesome. Well, I want to share a simple way that we can all cultivate and experience more power with. so one of those 4 kinds of power on that sheet, through creating more business miracles community connection for yourself on the forum. So this is a form of aligned collaboration. So the way that you can do that is by continuing the conversation. So you might want to write that down, and then I'll tell you what I mean by that. Continuing the conversation from the weekly roundtables, maybe from the roundtable itself or from the breakout session with someone that you felt a connection with in the community, or that you have something to share that might support them, like it came to mind to you, maybe during our call or maybe afterwards. It's like when you're at a live meeting, remember those? And you're having a break and you're walking out the door and someone happens to be next to you and you're like, oh, Mary Jane, I'm so happy that you asked that question because I was having the same issue with social media and that really supported me. So it's like taking that and transferring that into our forum. And so it could be a simple acknowledgement or thank you, or it could be to share some specific idea or thought for support for that person. And I'm going to give you some magic words to kind of help lubricate how do I present this idea for this person. So it could be something like, hi there, Mary Jane. So you're going to tag the person, right, so that they'll see it. I just wanted to share something in continuation from this week's roundtable. And then you share what it is, blah, 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 blah. And then the ending magic phrase is use however you choose. And maybe there's a smiley face. Yeah, right? And then from there, you can continue to tag each other from time to time in your posts and start creating more connection with each other. So I just want to do a quick check-in and ask you to raise your physical hand if this way of cultivating power with is something that you would like to experience more of on the forum. So just raise your hand if you'd like to experience. Okay, all right, so let it start with you then. And that is actually the power within that Heather just talked about. Awesome, so as we go into our breakout sessions, here's what you need to know. In your breakout sessions, stay on video and stay muted unless you've been called on. Raise your physical hand like we just did to ask a question or to share. And when the coach calls on you, simply unmute yourself. So please stay off of the Zoom chat feature as that creates a distraction for you and others. Instead, you can use the community forum afterwards, like I just shared, and share anything additional and keep the conversation going. And when the breakout sessions are done, Zoom will return everyone right back here to the main room. And that's it, Heather, back to you.
Beautiful. So appreciate that, Lorna, for both the way that we can bridge our virtual world in replace of our physical time together as we continue to transcend these exceptional times of this global pandemic. And also that real sense of power with as part of community. I know for myself, I'm just being honest, you know, entering into this new year, I was like, all right, okay, whatever, a new year. Wasn't really feeling it. But the moment I reconnected with community on the forum yesterday, I felt my energy shift into the new year and into possibility again. And that is the power of community and how you so beautifully just described how to specifically and intentionally engage power with and within as part of the community. So to continue that, we are going to go into breakout sessions to further this conversation about how to deliberately bring power into your new year, 2021, as a highly sensitive leader. We will be in breakout session for 23 minutes. And Susie, you can work your magic now. Yay! Beautiful. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to our 2021 first breakout session of this new year. Yay! Totally. Just a reminder that these breakout sessions can be used to focus on the training topic for support, masterminding, or general coaching and mentoring. But to start, let's take a moment and place our hands on our hearts. Let's take a deep breath in and let it out. And take a look around this breakout session so that you're really taking in who's here, who you are sharing this New Year breakout session with. And now take a moment and set a one-word intention for this breakout session. Just write that down for yourself, and that will just really support you in receiving exactly what you're meant to receive. Beautiful. So with that, let's dive in. So I'm going to start off thoughts, comments, questions, contributions regarding attachment style and leadership power as part of New Year planning and intentions for 2021. Who would like to start us off? Thoughts, comments, questions? Nova, thank you so much. Just a reminder, y'all are unmuting yourselves. Susie and Heather S.
There we go. I got it. Well,
Okay, great.
okay.
Yay.
All right.
Welcome.
Yay. Hi. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So what came from me with that was what stood out was the one about being able to recognize others' differences, individual differences, and communicating emotions and needs honestly. And it really ties into, like, with me transitioning to coaching, I'm having to, like, I have clients, like there will be clients returning, and I'm having to be like, I'm not going to do the therapy, but like, this is something we can discuss, and just really sticking to like what I need, and been having to tell myself that it's okay for me to change and grow and do something differently. So all of that kind of like respecting the difference if it's not the right fit for them, but respecting my right to decide what direction I go.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got chills. So there's something that comes to mind. I was actually reading this morning. Speaking of New Year rituals, so as part of my own 12 card draw, and specifically the card that I drew for the overall theme of the year was Mary Magdalena. And so I'm diving deep into just studying this symbolic woman, and actually so much that has been hidden, tried to be destroyed, removed in regards to who she was as a person of power and a teacher during biblical time. My point is, what I read this morning is that within the story of Mary Magdalena, there's another story of a woman called Thecla, Thecla. And within her story, she is a person who stuck to her courage of conviction, regardless of others' attempts to break her down, cut her down, silence her. And the line that stood out to me this morning in regards to her story was that by using her voice, she gave other women permission to use theirs. And I thought, wow, now that's power within, and that's power with. So my question for you, Nova, is how is you pursuing what you know is in your heart to move into coaching actually giving a great opportunity for all of those that you work with?
Well, I mean, it's doing that exactly whenever I connect with them and I say, this is what I have to offer now, and they get to have their voice and speak up about what they might need, and go in whatever direction they feel is right for them.
Yeah.
So they get to connect to that.
I would agree. What I want to offer you is that in the communicating and in the giving of the invitation is the sharing of it from this angle of, I am really excited about this change that I am being called to make. And I trust deeply that I'm being called to make this change because it is of service to everyone I'm connected with. Yeah. Here's how it could benefit you. And I'm not attached to the way you choose to go. Yeah. What do you hear then there that's slightly different than what you were presenting?
That this isn't just this desire for a change isn't just necessarily for me. It's also for the people that I'm serving, whether it's past or new people or whatever. And that there's something in there that's a potential for them too.
Yes. And they need to hear that from you.
Mm-hmm.
Versus going in with the expectation of, oh, you might not want to do this with me. You're free to make whatever choice you want.
Yeah, right. I see the difference.
Okay? Because you are being guided to this for a reason. It's
Mhm.
Of course it's for others, because that's part of your purpose, is service to others. Okay. Good.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful start off. Awesome. Take a breath in and let it out. Just a reminder, in these breakout sessions, right? You're listening for what it is that you're meant to be receiving for yourself, even as others in the breakout session are stepping forward. Okay. With that, let's go to Elle. What stood out to you?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, interestingly, I had the same two as Lydia.
Nice.
If I'm correct, you said I didn't write it down fast enough, but the power within was about the self-worth and self-knowledge.
That's right.
And then the attachment style one was communicates emotions and needs honestly and openly.
Yes,
And
you got it.
my reaction to that was I didn't like it. I was upset because that's what I feel I've been working on. And I feel like I'm so much better. And I'm like, so there was there's a resistance and a little bit of pride. Like I wanted something else to be focusing on. And it felt also very selfish. Like, oh gosh, it's about me still. So,
yeah. Well, I so appreciate that you're bringing all of this forward. So the first thing that I want to just emphasize and highlight for you, for all of us, is it's right at those moments when we're like, oh, really? Like more of this? It's right at those moments where we're actually meant to pay attention and lean in more deliberately, because that's right at the precipice of change. And the ego is fighting like crazy to pull you back and off track. So that's number one. Number two is, as part of that, just a reminder of one of the teachings that I share about the myth of arrival, right? Which is that when we're on this, path of transformation, of evolution, of service, of contribution, in that same precipice point, when we're really about to experience significant change and we really want to give up, that's when we're like frustrated that, aren't we done with this already? And the more we can let go of the story that there's an end or that there's an arrival, then easier the process actually becomes.
I also think of it as a level, not just arrival, but a leveling up.
Yes.
So there's like, oh, I'm still on this when I want to be on that.
Yeah. Well, yep. There's that upward spiral aspect, right? So I think that can be helpful in terms of a visual versus levels as in stairs, right? But that we're going up the spiral. So we're experiencing aspects of the same experience, but it's actually changing. So that speaks to the pride, which is absolutely to acknowledge and recognize what has changed, what you have done and created, which is then going to make the forward movement to the quote unquote next level, again, that much easier. And then the last piece in regards to, this feels selfish, connects back to what I shared with Noah, right? And I'm going to go back to, again, the story of Thecla, which is actually by freeing her voice, and she freed the voice of many. And for those of us who are highly sensitive, we are conscientious by nature. So anything we do is never going to be fully selfish. It is always going to be, how is this going to contribute to a betterment of others?
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And especially now in 2021, in these exceptional times, it's very important to not get caught in the, well, who am I? But instead, where am I being called?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just quickly say what came up with that is, I was thinking business, and of course there's a lot with this with my kids. So that this is really helpful. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. They will be better for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Take a breath in and let it out. Hi.
It sounds like Thecla she led by example.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. So thank you. And something that you said to Lydia when she said she was uncomfortable, like that's the place to go.
Yes.
Yes, it's some book, feel the fear and do it anyway. Not that I read it, but it sounds like it from the title.
Mhm.
And that reminds me of the conversation I had with Maureen yesterday. And I mentioned the happy hospital art idea, if she hasn't mentioned it to you.
I know the idea.
Yeah. And maybe it is time to pivot and go that direction.
Yes.
Even though the things I picked was power within, was sense of self-worth and self-knowledge. And under attachment style, it's insight, resolution, and forgiveness about past relationships, issues, and hurts. And I guess the question is, how do I tie these two things from the paper with my planning?
Yeah, well, specifically, and that's exactly it. That's exactly what we're here to, discuss. So what I hear specifically is that, the power within for you, right? To call on those aspects that stood out to you to move forward with this idea, with this project.
The one we're
Yes?
now potentially talking about versus the
Correct.
organized. Okay.
Correct. And forgiveness is what I hear immediately is forgiveness of self for you, Leslie, about all of the ways that you tend to, criticize yourself for what you haven't done, didn't do well enough, didn't do fast enough, didn't do like everybody else enough. Really let that go so we can, move on and move out into the world with this offer.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll journal about the how.
Yeah, well, we're here to support you with the how. And like I mentioned with Lydia, we'll be focusing on that next week as well with a weekly training. The other piece that I want to emphasize is back to the uncomfortable, right? And the discomfort. So first of all, we have the big picture of 2021, the global pandemic that we're living in, literally, truly the historical times that we're in. You've heard me say it before. I'll happily continue to say it. For those of us who are highly sensitive, this is not the time to hide from our discomfort and from what's uncomfortable. Everything is uncomfortable right now. So if there's anything that 2020 and 2021 is bringing us, it is the opportunity to master discomfort resilience. That's going to look different for each and every one of us. We're going to get called forward into that in different ways for each and every one of us. But those, I'm going to say false days of comfort are gone. That doesn't mean that we can't experience ease. It doesn't mean that we can't experience joy. It doesn't mean that we can't experience satisfaction. It doesn't mean that we can't experience a sense of reward and accomplishment. But what it does mean is that what we can count on more than ever is the unknown and uncertainty, and how to rise up and to transcend by using our strengths in spite of unknown and uncertainty. Because in truth, even when we thought that there was so much that was known, it was not. We just had a bigger cocoon of comfort previously. It is both a challenge and an opportunity, but we are all going to be better for it the more that we lean into it. And that is where power within and secure attachment and deliberately bringing that into your planning is going to support you in not falling so easily back into previous habits that are unhelpful. Make sense? Breath in and let it out. Take a moment to place a hand on your heart and write down for yourself what you're taking away from this breakout session, as well as any remaining thoughts, comments, questions, or ways that you want to continue the conversation on the forum as Lorna spoke about. And we're going to stay with this process of really staying connected to what you're taking away and how you want to use what you've received from this training and breakout session as we've gotten the 3-minute signal, and then we'll be welcoming others back into our space. So stay with hand on heart, breath deep, focused. How will you make this part of your New Year planning? And if you find that you're complete with writing down what you're going to be taking away, as well as if there's any further questions or contributions that you'll bring to the forum, then just allow yourself to rest. Eyes closed, hand on heart, to really take it in, anchor it in, so it's not so easily lost when you start to move on with the rest of your day. That is the power within, which we each hold we each possess. Susie, we have everyone back?
Yes, it looks that way. Everyone is back in the room.
Beautiful. Let's all take a breath in and let it out. The deliberate weaving in of power within and secure attachment style. Now more than ever, we are being called as a community of highly sensitive entrepreneurs and leaders to step forward in our power. What is that going to look like, be like, feel like for you into this new year? Next week's training and roundtable discussion will start to look more at the practicalities of what this looks like logistically with planning. In the meantime, share on the forum your takeaways from this training and roundtable. This is what I heard and how I will use it in 20 words or less. Power within and secure attachment style. We do have the ability to create what it is that we want and we desire. It is going to look different and feel different than it has ever looked before. But that does not mean that it is not within our power. Other than that, leaving you with many business miracles, many blessings. Use your sensitivities as strengths as we go throughout this week and until next week's training and roundtable. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Take care. Mwah. Bye-bye.